Hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. All right, so it's thundering a little bit. We're getting a lot of wind and potential rain. I haven't got any yet. So I got home late last night. So I had to go to a friend's house that was almost 2 hours away. Look at their heating and air. They paid a company the day before to go look at it, and that company, it's not my area now. This is 2 hours north of me. Charged them $400 something and did not solve the problem. And she called me, and we've been friends, I don't know, 15 years. And I'd never been to her and her husband's house, but how do you tell them no when you've been friends that long? And the people that installed it did a crappy job, and then the company they called to come fix it, which has been in about 6 years, didn't fix it and charged them an outrageous amount of money. So I made almost 2 hour drive, about an hour and 45 minutes drive north late yesterday. Got up there, spent about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, because we did a little bit of talking, but taking a look at their system, told them what I thought was wrong with it. I made some adjustments to it that should help with the issue they were having, and there's got to be some ductwork corrections basically to cool the house like it's supposed to. And I don't know how these companies get paid to install ductwork and don't do it properly to where it cools the house like it's supposed to. That wasn't the original call. She just said, hey, her little boy's name, her little boy's room has I see something on the ground over there I need to go look at. But her little boy's room's always been the hottest in the summer and the coldest in the winter. And since they put that unit in, so, I get through looking at the issue they were having and did what I could to try to solve that. And then I went and looked at the ductwork, and I'm like, holy crap, no wonder it's not cooling. These people, it's like day 2 on the job, installed their ductwork, and it looks like a day 2 job. And you're not going to get airflow the way it's supposed to. So I hate driving into big cities. I absolutely can't stand it. I like living way out here in the country with, 2-lane roads and dirt roads, and that's just who I am. But I had to go on a 5-lane interstate with construction, and man, I couldn't stand it. But I got there, got it handled, and I took the long way home, so I didn't have to deal with hardly any interstate, and especially that construction mess. And got home after 11 last night and had to get up this morning like I normally do around, I think I woke up at 6:45, something like that. So anyway, sorry I don't have my microphones on. Guys, I've watched and listened to my video with the microphones. They are working. They do a very good job. I can tell on my end when I'm watching it, through my truck radio or at home. I can tell the difference in the audio. So I apologize for that. I wasn't planning on doing this video, but I wanted to show y'all something that I've done. And let me just flip it around to show you. So we've got this mini greenhouse here, and it's getting too hot. In South Georgia, it is just flat too hot to do anything in that thing, to do seed tray starters or anything like that, which right now I don't need a place to do seed starters because it's hot enough. I mean, the low last night was 72. The high today was about 93. So, starting seeds directly in the soil, that's perfect temperature. So, but the mini greenhouse is getting way too hot. So I put some stakes up, and I put one of these shade cloths over the top of it to try to reduce the amount of heat, sunshine that's getting in there. And I put some smaller stakes and tied the flaps up to let some airflow through there. Even though I'm not using it to plant right now, I'm trying to see what I can do to get it set up right so when I do need it, it's all done. Also, I went around, I added some grommets to it, by the way, if y'all can see that, so I could attach them and take it loose if I wanted to. But I also put grommets on the bottom edge flap all the way around and put those big, large, what I call tent stakes in there to hold this thing down in a strong wind. Those stakes are about 10 inches long, I think, 8 or 10 inches long, and it's just like a huge big nail. So I put those things all the way around. We've got, you know, 2 on each corner plus 2 in the middle on the long sides, and I've got the flaps tied out. Now, this one had come loose today when I got home, and this one had come loose. So I took it and twisted it. Let me show y'all. I twisted it and then put it back on the pole, and I guess I didn't twist this one enough because it came loose again. Like I say, we've got a little bit of wind, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt it if it comes loose. It's just going to not let as much air flow through. But I did the same thing with the sun shade screen, or whatever you want to call this. It makes a big difference. When the sun was out yesterday and I was out here and stepped under this thing, you can tell a difference in getting under this shade cloth and being out directly in the sun. So it does make a difference. All right, so I have not pruned these zucchini and squash today, but I want to show y'all. Look at there. That little plant is already trying to bloom out, and there was a few more that had little tiny blooms on them that are getting ready, and I need to prune some more limbs off and tie them up a little further, but these things are already trying to bloom out and they're not even that big yet. So I did a video about what Reed and I planted. I added 10-10-10 soil to everything. So I've got one more thing I really want to show y'all. It's been basically 48 hours since Reed and I put the fertilizer out and turned the soil and stuff. But y'all know these green bean plants were turning yellow. So y'all see how yellow those leaves are, but look up top. On camera, they still look a little yellow, but that's a whole lot greener than the rest of it. And then I've got some greener leaves down here. You can see the difference in the green and yellow. So that fertilizer is working. Now, I don't know if I put enough out there or whatever. I was scared to put too much and burn the plants up, but that fertilizer is working. So I basically, when this bed is done this year, it's going to get a lot of my homemade compost from my chicken pens that's really high in nitrogen because of their poo and waste. And I'm going to mix it in. I'm not adding any more store-bought to this bed. I'll be adding some of that in. And I just wanted to show y'all, you can see a difference in those leaves in 48 hours just by adding some fertilizer to this thing. And you see it's grown up. It's almost 3 feet tall. It's growing up the trellis netting, so it's doing what it's supposed to do. All right. We showed y'all the fig trees in the last video, so I'm not going to go do that. They still look really good. I have watered all the grow bags, and I looked really hard on this plant right here. We'll see if I can get close enough to show y'all what I'm talking about. Look at this. Looks like something ate the leaves off of here. And of course it's a tomato plant, so I'm like, there's a tomato hornworm this early, but I can't find anything on this plant that's caused that damage. Could have been a bird or something, or you know, something that landed and ate and left, but something ate part of the leaves on this tomato plant, and I have no idea what it was, but I didn't see any signs of tomato hornworm. So I watered it anyway, and I did the plants that were grown up a little bit like this. I did, let me flip back around. I'm adjusting the length. I did take the tomato booster and spray those yesterday, and I actually didn't even get a chance to water the garden yesterday because of that Friends emergency heating and air call. And, you know, gosh, I hated to drive up there, and I hated to drive back. I just don't like going to the big cities like that. Aim y'all down a little more. But what do you do when you got a friend you've been friends with 15 years that calls and said, I need help? And you got to go. So I did. But either way, I'm going to get off here. I just wanted to show y'all I can see a difference in adding the fertilizer to the beds already. And it's only been 48 hours. It may have been a little less than 48 hours, but I can see a difference already. And of course, it hadn't been long enough for anything that we planted to pop up yet. But I'm making sure that I water these beds really well so that the seeds get the moisture they need so that they will sprout and come on up like we want them to. I'm excited about growing some new stuff. I'm not even a tomato lover. I love blueberries. I love blackberries, but I'm not tomato, strawberry. I'm not a strawberry lover, so I've never planted any, but we've got that 3x6 bed completely planted with nothing but strawberries. And I expect to get a pretty decent harvest out of it. But we're going to see. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I'm doing my best. How about that? All right, I'm going to get off here. Got a bug landing on my screen. There's still a lot to do. There's still a lot to learn. But guys, with y'all's help, by supporting my channel, watching, commenting, all of that, subscribing, it really helps a lot. And I appreciate it. So, more important than anything I'm ever going to show you in the garden or on the homestead or anything like that, remember what I've always told you. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe, be prepared. Grow some food. I'll see y'all next time.